Hi everyone. Am I audible to all of you? I hope. Gary, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, loud and
I
clear.
just wanted to double check that everything is working fine. Uh, okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for letting us present some of our products and VMware as a technology partner around the globe, enabling businesses to flourish as the business demands goes higher. So before I continue with this particular session, let me introduce myself. My name is Adnan Hussain, and I'm a senior technical instructor working in VMware, delivering trainings, technology relevant stuff around the globe from last around 12 plus years being a trainer and being a consultant from last 22 years. I'm in um, I'm serving in IT. So what VMware is actually participating in transformation of businesses around the globe. So we are going to provide you uh, an overview about VMware participation in IT transformation. So so let's start. So if I give you a high-level overview, a glimpse from the year 1970, if you just look into the graph and if you just see how the business transformation is happening and the need of the business is dynamically changing over the years, over the decades. So you will see the technology is on quite a quite a quite a height in case if you just look back in the couple of decades, right? Or even in case if you just move ahead. So if you just look into the people, those are actually serving in IT, if they are not equipped with the proper knowledge and skill set as per the current day's business needs or the trends, what's gonna happen? People those are unable to skill up themselves, or because of their busy schedules, they got the demanding jobs, and they are actually dedicating themselves to get the outcomes. But again, as the needs of the business and the people scaling up process has got some kind of delays, so this particular gap is required to be filled up. So I'm specifically talking about the IT workforce around the globe. So how the IT transformation is actually accelerating the business, and how the IT leaders around the globe participating in paving the way for the manpower to equip with the skills. This is very much important thing that must be kept in mind, and this is something we wanted to provide a chance to look into the gaps and how we are going to cover up the stuff. So um, if you just look this particular part that we are trying to highlight, so this is what the skills gap that the IT workforce always needed to equip themselves with the demanding needs of the business and the applications which are available around the IT workforce. They should be equipped with this. So in order to keep that thing in mind, so what is the what we are just looking into the shelf life of the skills. It always needed the dynamic behavior for an IT professional to keep up the pace and to learn new things as the requirement of the current businesses or today's needs. So I'll give you an example. Like if I talk about in 80s, we used to communicate with one another using writing letters. We just post a letter, and the other party is going to wait for the message to arrive. That may take a week or a couple of days, maybe. But that particular communication got a bit faster in 90s, and we got telephone sets. Those are actually equipped within some living rooms or in offices, right? And with the passage of time, when the mobility got introduced in late 90s, which was quite expensive, but it has become cheaper when we talk about the very new century. So the dynamics of IT got a quick spike in its demands. So there comes the a new push from the need of the people and the technology, and the social media comes into picture. So this made the people more connected with one another. Even now, we are taking our meals and we like to share that particular moment with our loved ones. Those are away from us, far off, but still they are connected. So with the passage of time, we learn a lot more different new dynamics. So within a very short time period, I don't consider that from year 1990 to 2010 is quite a big time, but the changes are quite big if you just look into. So in this case, the people's requirements are getting higher. So in order to fill up this particular gap, what we needed, by the way, we need to look into how the business requirements are and where our direction of scaling up going in which direction. So we need to look into the productivity growth. We need to look into the customer satisfaction in terms of business perspective. We also need to look into how the companies are going to lose their opportunities to run their businesses in minutes and seconds, which was quite a big challenge if we talk about nowadays, and if we compare it with a couple of decades back. So keeping that thing in mind, we have got that over 52% of the reported lower staff productivity due to skill gap goes compromised. So this is the reason most of the organizations, those have hired quite a big number of people in their businesses around the globe. If they are not able to cope up with the business requirement, I mean the applications they are using to fulfill the need of the business, they're gonna lose the business, and losing the business, gonna losing the profits, right? So this is something that we are actually highlighting. VMware actually providing software around the globe to support infrastructure, to support the user needs, using applications to connect multiple people like network and security. VMware also participating in nowadays, if we just talk about 2019, when pandemic hits the market. So a new term comes into picture, which was not so much eye-catching. Its name is work from home. The business dynamics totally changed right after 2019's event, which was known as pandemic. So VMware has got already a product which is known as Workspace ONE, right? So which connects people even they are sitting in their homes, coffee shops, while in their with their loved ones, but they cannot leave the places because they have been confined. So we got these capabilities that enabled the human workforce to participate, right? So I have given this example. So in this particular case, if we just look into, we need to work for 9 to 5 every day. We need to work in corporate offices instead of working from anywhere. That's something I'm just trying to explain. So this was the past. This was the story of the past, and this is the demand of our current days and future. So use the company equipment instead of the personal devices, which was which is a kind of a nightmare for the IT team in a couple of decades back because they are unable to manage the things, right? So now we have got new terms like bring your own devices, right? So the corporate data, which is the intellectual property of any organization, got a security, right? So similarly, we have got the people which needed to focus on their job roles, their KPIs to be met, and they're gonna need to climb by the corporate policies that need to fit in, right? And they have got a predefined work SOPs they need to follow, right? So all these things has just got customized, changed. So we have got multiple options here. And we also don't need to forget that we have got our needs. Like we are going to communicate with one another because human is a social animal. We need to take care of our goals, and we need to set up our goals. And these goals are needed to take a dedication in our work. We need to look into how teams gonna work all together without compromising our end goals, right? And we also need to not stop at a learning process. Either it is any degree program or any skilled training session, right? So in order to have a continued learning process and to skill up ourselves become a challenge if we just talk about the norms of the past. So keeping these things in mind, we have observed that if we talk about the training deliveries, which will require a person who is known as a trainer to be the part of the facility, training facility, and call the students or the trainees, those are actually the IT professionals, to skill up themselves. And in order to do that, they need to dedicatedly provide their 8 hours working day, which sometimes is not possible for them to spare. So if we just look, if I don't go back so far, but if I talk about from year 2002, it's if we talk about this particular a very recent I mean it's not so recent, but 20 years is not a big time, right? Not a big time frame. So if you just look into the skilling up process, which was actually known as the classroom based trainings, it was quite a big number people usually convinced to have it. But the e-learning or self-paced learning was very low in its popularity. But with the passage of time, as people just find out that yes, they need to prepare themselves for the skill gaps as well as their job roles must not be compromised. This is something that made people to convince that yes, e-learning has got some significance. And to be very honest, this gap just filled up if you just look into year 2019, what I have already explained, work from home and everything almost the people usually do practically physically while being on the side, they just started working virtually, work from home, connecting to multiple different gadgets, right? So virtual instructor-led trainings got the place there. Now, in this case, we have got a self-paced portion in which you are the one who is the leader, you are the one who is the learner, and you are the one who wanted to fill up the gap of this particular skill that his or her business or job has got the requirement. So keeping that point in mind, we have got some important trends that are actually building the IT skills, which are actually based on the use cases, which are actually based on the manager assigned or the learner directed learning portfolios, Like, for example, I'm the manager, I got my team, I want my team to be equipped with some of the applications which are being used by our organization. And these applications are must be taken care by my team. So if my team is um, that uneducated about that particular operations of the application, how I can get the outcome? I can't, right? So I want my team to be on time and working with to deliver the projects. I want my team to skill up themselves. And in this particular case, we have got multiple different ways of scaling up the audience, right? So we have got instructor-led trainings. We have got available labs, not compromising your internal infrastructure, but connected with VMware provided facilities. And we are going to provide you the hands-on labs so you can equip yourself with the latest configurational and operational stuff which is needed by any organization to maintain their IT, right? And we make the learner sure about their skills are actually acquired properly through uh, hands-on practical performance and cognitive learning experience. So in this case, we have got comprehensive course covered under the our enterprise subscription program, which is a self-paced asynchronous mode of learning that makes the learner more facilitated while managing uh, his or her needs for the job role KPIs and sparing some time to learn new things on daily basis. You know, there's a saying that 1% every day improves you every time, whichever skill set you wanted to master. So keeping that point in mind, if you just look into the comprehensive trainings, those are spanning across a full VMware solution portfolio from scratch, I mean, from virtualizations till the cloud computing, we have got covered up in enterprise learning subscription. We enable our valuable IT professionals based on real-time needs and problems which are been faced by a person to skill up themselves while they are on their jobs, demanding jobs, right? So we want them to be consistent, having their trainings in their own hands, that they wanted to skill up themselves, and they must be convenient in adapting the pattern of learning. So, keeping these things in mind, we are covering almost every aspect of IT, starting from multi-cloud architecture, whether the organization owns its own private data center architecture or that organization has got a subscription to run their businesses around the globe, or that organization has got its data, which is the intellectual property, to be taken care by its secure system, which is accessible by any gadgets. Or or any organization wanted to extend their businesses in terms of branches across the globe while setting up their networks virtually, having their data in transit with security, running their workloads around the globe with confidence. All of these things are taken care by VMware Enterprise Learning subscription, which is the strategic solution offered by VMware for its valuable IT professionals to skill up themselves. So keeping all these things in mind, we have got ELS as a subscription. ELS is actually covers up 60 plus training sessions, which are known as technically, these are on demand trainings. And we can alternatively call it as an asynchronous mode of learning in which the learner is going to listen to the training sessions, do a hands-on labs, and sit in a pragmatic center to take the exam and endorse him or herself to have that particular skill set. And we got covered at least minimum 2 exam vouchers as well, which are actually supporting the student or IT professional to come up with an outcome of having endorsed by VMware around the globe to uh, get more opportunities for better salary if that the person is looking for, and for better product experience. So this is something that we can achieve using the single subscription. So an organization can acquire this particular service from VMware for its IT professionals or valuable employees. So this investment never gonna go wasted at all, because this investment is gonna provide three 365 days opportunities every day. So the person who is going to learn new thing, that person is going to be more polishing his or her skill set that is actually encompassing all these areas which are actually nowadays a need as in terms of business, which is actually transformed as an IT services. So keeping that thing in mind, enterprise learning subscription has this. You can see this is actually the interface of enterprise learning subscription for a student who can actually pick and choose a course, right? And then once that student, I mean that learner, is going to enroll him or herself, and that learner can continue with the self-paced learning. So it's an e-learning solution, which is actually based on the recorded experienced trainers sessions, and gonna provide the certification preparations, and then gonna help in achieving their goals. So we are not actually providing you the trainings only. We are actually providing you assistance in getting your goals achieved in case of skills gap to be taken care of. So keeping that point in mind, if I am a learner and I wanted to scale up myself and I wanted to be more prominent amongst the others in the world competition in IT skill set, so VMware is going to help me out not only in giving me trainings, but also how to sit in exam and how to take care of my exam questions that are going to be asked or going to be the part of the examination. So in this case, we have got 2 vouchers, as I have already explained, which is the part of this particular enterprise learning subscription. And not only this, people, we are actually taking care of all these things based on the real people-based assessments. What are the skills gap that they are having at the moment across multiple different organizations? And based on this, we are going to collect the information and we are going to design our courses. So a traditional learning and the e-learning or enterprise learning subscription, it is come up with a fixed schedule, which is a challenge for many people. I mean, fixed schedule means I got up, you can say, uh, 5 days session with 8 hours consecutive 8 hours per day basis. So if any organization has got only one person as an IT professional, can that organization spare that person? Not at all. So it fits in this particular window, which has got flexible timings for a person to learn new things 24/7. At any time, that person can open up the portal and that person can start his or her training session, right? And it is available for whole year, one person. Unlimited lab accesses, which is only limited for a particular time during the class. And subject of the training is specific for that particular class, but it is anytime you can opt for any training session, which is up to 60 different trainings, right? You don't need to enroll multiple courses. All courses are accessible under one umbrella. And you also gonna be given a chance to take the exam, right? And in the instructor-led training, you need to purchase a voucher. But over here, we got covered 2 vouchers for you. So in this case, not only we are giving you the learning experience, we are also giving you the test your knowledge experience with endorsement from VMware, which is known worldwide. So VMware People Transformation Program is actually based on a, a skill gap analysis, which is actually tested through knowledge skills assessment test, KSA. And we have got if they are if the people are the beginners and they wanted to skill up themselves for the late as per the latest technology demands, we have got covered also, which has got a one-on-one training sessions which are going to take care of the basic knowledge first for them to equip themselves for IT. And then we have got phase 2, which has got quite more professional trainings which are going to equip them for better understanding the product. And then we have got the phase 3 role-based specific trainings, which are actually for the seasoned professionals, IT professionals. So actually, we are covering from the very beginning to the high-end skilled IT professionals to take care of their skill gaps. So this process goes on. So every day or after every some time, we are gonna have a new change in the technology, and that is gonna be covered. So this process of skilling up the learner keep going on. So if I talk about the beginners, so they're gonna start their learning process by their own. And in phase 2, we are going to cover them with instructor-led trainings. Once they have got equipped with the basic information and they have got into the skilling up process, which has been led by instructor. So we have covered them up with their own plan and their learning experiences. So this would be the self-paced once again. So another important thing, if we talk about the beginners, those are actually going to skill up themselves. So we have covered them up as free of charge. So we are not charging them anything. So these trainings are already available at VMware using Customer Connect portal. So I think we're going to talk about ahead as well about it. So the Customer Connect portal, which was previously known as VMware Learning Zone, right? They have got the basic subscription, which is free of charge for everyone. So then if they wanted to move up, so we have got hand holding for them to improve their skill sets. And then we are going to provide them the liberty to take care of their skill gaps, be filled up with the latest technology based on their needs and requirements of the job. So this is one of the screenshot of the various different technologies and the skill gaps that we have just assessed for multiple different organizations. So for the security reasons, we have just the names of the organizations are not here or the persons, but you can see here that we are going to provide the organizations with their IT professionals what actually they are good in and at which pace they need more uh, um, hands-on or learning, and at which they are actually need instructor-led or self-paced learnings. So you can see this is actually the multiple applications offered by VMware and multiple domains actually. Like if we want the team of an organization, IT team of an organization to equip with the troubleshooting, so we can provide these courses as well. If any organization require to equip their IT team with network security and designing solutions. So we are going to provide right after having an assessment, checking their knowledge and provide our feedback. Right. So knowledge skill assessment sample report I have already explained here. So we are going to cover up all multiple different trainings which can assist the people with their relevant skill gaps to be filled up. So you can see these are the skill gaps that we are actually highlighting, and you can pick and choose these different training sessions. So you can see here, these are the trainings which are going to take care. Here you can see these are the skill gaps. So you can pick and choose your trainings which are needed for your IT professionals. So if we talk about the onboarding for the organizations, for the IT team, so we assess them up, right? And then we gonna and then you are the one who are gonna have the ELS in their subscriptions. So how the ELS has been consumed, so it is monitored, and how the IT professionals are gonna have the certifications for their um, organizations, and to improve their skill sets, and how they are going to achieve the milestones. And this is something that we are actually covering up in one solution, which is known as Enterprise Learning Subscriptions. So this Enterprise Learning Subscription is a digital promotion bundle, which is going to cover up 60 plus recorded training sessions in the form of on-demand trainings, and one instructor-led training course, as well as two VCP professional certification exam vouchers as well. So it's a complete bundle for an individual person who is going to be subscribed by the ELS through VMware in this case. So if anyone is interested in having ELS 3 days trial, so that can reach out to NTUC representative for a free 3 days trial. And this is something that actually needed. And NTUC with collaboration with LHub are actually going to provide these instructor-led trainings, right? The funded courses are that are actually filling up the skill gap for the infrastructure virtualization, infrastructure network and security, infrastructure cloud, private cloud automation, and infrastructure private public cloud monitoring and analytics. So it covers almost all the aspects of a data center owned by any business around the globe, maintaining their virtual environments, setting up security and network virtualizations, maintaining automation and operations. So thank you very much for listening to me.